Hello, this is Daniel from soundheadquarters.com. In today's video, we are going to be installing Acoustic Clouds and transforming the studio space from this to this. And we're going to be doing it with the client's existing panels that we're going to reupholster and then reinstall more equally around the ceiling in the studio, giving us more control of the reflections coming off the ceiling. So we're starting off with some of the client's existing panels here. And these were built a few years ago, and we're just repurposing them for this studio renovation. And I'm using my pneumatic stapler and 1/4 inch T50 staples, and we're using this olive green canvas fabric. So what I'm doing is I'm removing the hardware from the old panels and getting it ready for reupholstery. So I'm just cutting that fabric to size, making sure I have enough overhang on both sides, and then I can go ahead and start the upholstery process. Now, we have tons of videos on the channel about panel upholstery. Please refer to those if you'd like more info on the actual upholstery process, but this video is focusing more on the actual installation of these ceiling clouds. So once we went ahead and got all of these panels reupholstered, now we're ready to do all of our layout so that we can successfully install these clouds into the mix position, as well as the rest of the room to give us lots of control from those reflections coming from the ceiling. So you can see we uninstalled the previous clouds and we have a nice clean open ceiling here and open floor space for us to do our layout and use our laser level to successfully transfer all of our measurements to the ceiling and drill them out for the anchors. So what I like to do, especially in studios with tall ceilings like this one, is I like to do my layout on the floor with masking tape. This makes it a lot easier to kind of maneuver around the room, do all my layout with the measuring tape at ground level, and I can make dots on that masking tape, and then I can use my laser level to transfer that dot straight up to the ceiling in the exact same position that it's laid out on the floor here. So right now we're starting with the mix position clouds. We're going to be mounting 3 clouds all together to give us one large 4 foot by 6 foot mix position cloud that's going to be mounted right in between the monitors and the listening position at the desk there. So there you can see the laser level. This one has a function that shoots a laser dot down and up as well. So you can see I shot it down at my marking on the masking tape, and it's referencing that point and shooting a laser straight up to the ceiling exactly where I need to drill my hole. So that's kind of the way that I do it in terms of using the masking tape on the ground. It just makes it a lot easier rather than having to do all the layout on the ceiling with ladders, and it's just way more complicated. So this is the hardware that we're using. We have locking quick links right there. We have eyelet hooks, those metal drywall anchors, and some chain. So that's what is going to be going into the ceiling here to hold up these clouds. So once I have my laser pointed at the ceiling where I need to drill, I can drill it out with the bit corresponding to my drywall anchor. Then I can screw in that drywall anchor, screw the eye hook into the drywall anchor, and then use those locking quick links to attach the piece of chain. And then we're going to use another locking quick link to attach the chain to an eyelet that's screwed into the back of the panel. So once we got all of our layout for the mix position clouds, now we're doing the center line of the room, which is receiving 3 clouds equally spaced out. And then we're going to do the rear side of the room, which is receiving 4 clouds equally spaced out. So the exact same process here. We're just laying out that masking tape, making sure that our laser corresponds to the correct spot in the ceiling. And there you can see we've installed a lot of the chains and quick links and the eyelet hooks into those drywall anchors. So now we're going to go ahead and get this center line put up, and we can actually mount some of these panels as well. So what we're doing here is we're mounting the mix position clouds. We're mounting the fronts first, and then I can kind of swing them down so that they're only hanging from the front. And what we're going to do here is we're going to screw these panels together to make sure that we have a nice closed, there's going to be no gap. It's going to be nice and closed between all 3 of those mix position clouds. That way when the client is sitting in the studio and they look up, they're not going to see any kind of light coming through the gaps, the edges in between the panels. It's going to be all one cohesive mix position cloud. So once we screw those panels together, we can swing the rear side back up, and we're angling these clouds. So all that means is that the chain is longer in the front, and then at the rear side, we're just going quick link straight from eye hook to eye hook. There's no chain links on the rear side of the clouds, only on the front face. And we're doing that same thing, which you can see here for the middle clouds. So we have about 1 foot of chain in the front, and then it's connecting straight to the lock and quick links in the eye hooks on the rear side. And once we get this middle line installed, then we can move on to the rear side of the room. Just repeating that exact same process, except for the rear panels in this room, the client wanted to have these ones just flat with no angle on them. So we're going just only eye hook to eye hook with that lock and quick link, and that is it. So these panels will remain flat while the middle line and mixed position panels are tilted. So that concludes the installation of these panels. There's lots of videos on this channel about more cloud installation, more panel installation. Stay tuned for the rest of the videos from this entire studio build. I'm going to show you how we did that cool pendulum painting on those rear 3 panels above the couch there. We already have the video out about these mixed position acoustic walls with the wood slats and the integrated lighting. And here's just a glamour shot for you guys to enjoy. And this is Main One Studios. They are open and available for booking. They are located in downtown Toronto on Queen Street West. Check them out, please. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Daniel from soundheadquarters.com. Peace out.